Hi everyone, we are back. We're super sorry that we were away for a little bit too long. We had a bunch of issues, but we have returned. We've got so much to talk about, so let's go with the Top Drive show. Yep. Right, a couple of things to get out of the way right now. We have got the rollover from the Goodwood special, so unfortunately we won't be able to bring you as much as we wanted to. We had a few issues on the day that prevented us from getting everything together, but we are still doing the t-shirt giveaway, don't you worry. You can pick up some extra content related to Goodwood on our social channels, which should appear somewhere. I'll also say, on Facebook we're Top Drives, on Twitter we're Hutch Games, Instagram hutch.games. We're going to be posting more content over the coming weeks, including stuff from Goodwood, so you can check that out right now and keep your eye on it. Let's go straight to the questions. We've selected from episode 23 and 24. And if we read out your name, then congratulations, you have picked up yourself a Top Drives t-shirt like this one. We'll get through to you probably using the same system. There's some information of the T's and C's in the previous episode, and there might even be a copy of it in the description of this video too, so that you can get your prizes. They're not in any particular order, but we will start with a question from DEIRU. So congratulations, you've won a t-shirt. Their question is, can we get a slider to easily go through our garage instead of swiping endlessly?
So, alright, so there's a little tiny grey bar at the bottom, isn't there? That looks like something you could grab onto and shoot across.
Yeah.
And that actually does, there's some bit of the game, I can't remember what it is, where that actually works. Weirdly, there's one bit that we sort of left in. So, yeah, I don't know. There's been a few ideas around this idea. As like, next page, jump straight to an RQ, I think. I think a better filtering system is the first way to do it.
It feels like that addresses the global issue that this would help.
Yeah.
It kind of, as in making it easier to swipe through your cars would obviously help, but really, I think we're the most important thing is that overall
be able to
filtering.
filter to what you want. And I can see it's simple to make that scale, because if it was just, there's the thing where you could set it, you could calibrate it, and it would probably work really well if you have between maybe 100 and 300 cars, and then if you start to go beyond that, you sort of would do this and you'd shoot past 50 different cars and it wouldn't work as well. So it feels like a slider would work for some people and then would work less and less well the more cars you get.
Yeah.
So I think better filtering first.
Yes.
See how far that gets us.
Okay, great. So well done, you get a t-shirt. The next question comes from Nakazato Takashi, who has a question that's related to one we've had a lot recently. Their question is, could we get a filter for ground clearance?
Yeah. I mean, there's a few missing things.
Yes. Yeah.
Ground clearance is quite a big one. It's craziest that it's not on the front of the card.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite important. You end up just having to learn it, and then we change it with corrections. This has just come up.
I know. I mean, it's sort of it doesn't, obviously it's not nearly precise enough, but in a way the reason we went with a simple approach for ground clearance and sort of reduced it to high, medium, low is that in theory, so you can look at the card image.
You can, that's right.
And get a feel for it.
Yeah.
But actually, as we're discovering, there is just so much more nuance than that.
Various people have asked recently, what's the definition of ride height? Why have we been changing the Audis? What about all these new BMWs that are medium? So what's going on there? What is this ride height?
Should we answer
Let's talk about ground clearance.
Just quickly.
It's a fun topic.
Yeah, we've got a lot to do.
Yeah.
All right, where do we start? So when we started, we decided that ground clearance is not a readily available stat for a lot of cars. So it felt like some would have it and then some would be approximate. So we decided to, if some cars were going to be approximate, go with approximate for all cars at launch of Top Drives. And
it's quite nice for gameplay reasons as well. You can just memorise that. You don't have to go, this one is 13 millimeters.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, maybe that's better.
Yeah. So it was just kind of low, medium, high. That's going to make some sense. As kind of corrections and thoughts on this have sort of come in from players, We've started to sort of have these thresholds. The big one is at 137
millimeters.
Yeah, 137. So after a lot of discussion, it was felt like there were certain cars that naturally fell into kind of would be considered medium, some that would be considered low, and the threshold seemed to be around the 137 millimeter mark. So we've started using that as the basis for making these corrections, which is why things like certain Audis have dropped down.
There's a drilling noise.
There is a bit of a drilling noise.
That's fine.
Yeah,
We'll just shout.
We'll just keep going. We've been having it all week.
carry
We thought
on.
they'd stopped. Never mind.
Yeah, never ends.
So we started using that, and people have been referencing it, multiple sources where car magazines have measured the ride height, and it's come in under 137, and so we've that's the new basis that we are using.
Yeah.
I have a slight suspicion that the industry as a whole does not have a universal way of measuring ground clearance.
Right.
I might be completely wrong in that.
I
But
think what some people might just be looking like, this is the bumper. And
Well,
some
yeah,
people might be going, technically there's this bit of the car that's lower and we're going to go on that.
yes,
Right.
because it's obviously a lot of people. It is kind of almost this like, what does the nose of the car get over?
Yeah.
But then there's a whole series of things, kind of protrusions and things like that underneath the car, and and behind the rear wheels, and so it's an area that we are looking into more, because we want to understand it more. There's also that slight complication that some cars have a button that lets you, or air suspension that lets you raise them up and down.
Yeah,
I think we might have
including
answered
some
this previously, that
Yeah.
our general approach to top drives is that it's the cars in their most performance orientated setup is what we would consider to be the stats that we've used. So that's a sort of long and vague answer, but
Sure.
we're looking into it more. We do want to establish a bit more visibility on this, because it obviously does come into play in certain challenges.
Yeah.
So definitely aware of it, and it is being investigated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, and you're the Audi RS6 event, right? You remember a few episodes ago, I was like, I finally got it after all these years, and now it's low. So I'm one of those people like, oh, okay. All right, well, it's low for everybody, I guess. People are surprised. They look at those Audis and they go, that doesn't really look low, but you look it up, it's less than 137 millimeters. It is.
And they do,
However,
when you look at it, they do have quite serious kind of fun, sort of, air dam splitter type things, and skirts on the side. So it's, it does make sense when you look into it. But
if you see one in the world, give it a measure.
Yes.
Just check it. Well, I do think some BMWs will need correcting. That's annoying.
That's
We
my
should probably
dream.
get ahead of that.
That's my
I'll
dream
do it.
family car. So
Which one?
maybe I'll
RS6 as well.
yeah.
Nice.
One day. Okay. So well done, Nakazato. You get yourself a t-shirt. Next question, also getting a t-shirt, comes from Blossom. Very simple one. Can Tim give us a tour of his Top Drives garage?
Right. How long have you got?
I mean, not now. Let's not do it now.
Bit.
But like perhaps a future episode, if there's a little gap in some news, we could go through the Top Drives garage of Tim, who is a renowned player.
I've got about 700 cars now. So it would take a while.
Yeah.
I mean,
But you could do
some
highlights.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right. We've got a lot to get through, so not this show,
Yeah,
but let's
okay.
pick that up later.
Yep, thank you, Blossom. Okay, next question from Sean Foster. You get a carbon fibre pack for asking, hey Hutch, could we have a way of using cars in our holding pool as fuse material? Our garage slots are limited and having those 3 extras would be a help. It would speed up the fusing process.
It would.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's like can we get 3 extra garage slots and then you have them, and then you fill them again. I mean, not quite. It changes a little bit, the flexibility. Well, I guess like you were originally only going to get 30 at the start, but now you get 35. There they are. They were there. I don't know. It depends how you count. I can see. It feels like I should have those, but it's also part of the strategy is having enough.
It is,
slots
yes. I think that's the
free
thing.
and moving it
I guess the
around.
whole thing with the holding pool was it just brings in that strategy of like what is worth keeping,
Yeah.
what should you just get rid of, and it does feel like it muddies the waters on that a little bit.
I don't want to encourage people to be sort of using the holding pool as excess garage storage, because then you get more people who start losing it, like, oh, I was holding on to this and I didn't add it, and then it's gone because you only have 24 hours.
Yeah.
I don't want to encourage that as a thing that you do. So yeah, I mean, everybody's up against the same restriction. It's only 3 slots. You can earn the gold for that in a few days.
So sadly, it's probably a no.
Yeah, I'm
isn't
gonna
it?
say no.
Sorry. Okay, next question comes from Andrew. Well done, you get a t-shirt. I understand inflation, but 3 gold instead of 5, $250 instead of 500. It's too much. It's basically a half, 1 month playing. You're missing a carbon fiber and many ceramics, or to upgrade cars, because the cost to upgrade is the same, but cars in the game, there are more and more cars in the game, the same.
Right. Yeah.
So if you're not playing this game for at least a year, you have no chance against old players.
Okay, so this has been, in the time that the show has been off the air, the big
because we've been away for 3
topic
weeks
of
already.
Discussion.
Yeah.
You go on the web forum, there's a good thread on it. I've been doing sort of weekly updates there with presenting to the players some sort of high-level analysis of everybody, because the big thing is we've done this rebalance.
Yep.
It affects different players differently. So, just to recap pretty quick. First of all, it's a rebalance. It's not just taking money away, right? So the prize board value has gone down from 8,250 cash and 10 gold to 5,125 cash and 6 gold. Like, where's all the things gone? But we've increased the cash prizes for the end of events and for challenges. And clubs are there as well, right? This was the whole thing. So originally we added clubs, we took away dailies. Everybody said, oh no, we really actually like the dailies. So we were like, okay. And this was the plan when we were doing that. We said, okay, we're going to bring back dailies, but then we're going to do this rebalance so that prize boards are worth less, but winning things is worth more. And you've also got clubs giving you some cash and gold quite regularly.
Yep.
Gold, especially from clubs, you don't have to be very active to get the end of season gold. So that's working out pretty well for people. And the interesting thing about this change is that almost like every segment I looked at different kind of players, the average RQ 100 player, 150 player, the most active RQ 150 players, the top 10%, 20%, the median, all these different groups of averages of players, they're all making more cash and gold per day.
Yep.
And yet there's these people going, what's going on? I can't open my packs anymore, where's all my money? And so I actually ended up examining specific players. So I was like, every average I look at is fine, and these people are saying, no, I've hardly got any money, what's happening? So I looked at them in detail to see what's the story here. So one thing was, I think that they were overestimating how much they'd missed out, and there was this thing of like, actually especially when you're smarfing, right, when you drop down to the bottom of the board and you just get 3-star wins really easily, you're getting that cash, you're racking it up, 8,000 and 10 gold in like a quick session. Whereas now you don't get that as fast, and then it comes at the end of the day. That doesn't feel the same. There is that, but they also were making less. They were also playing less. There was a thing like the rebalance means, they don't enjoy it as much, or they're not doing clubs that much because they're not into it. Obviously, if we add a new feature and that's got money and you don't do it that much, and then we rebalance things, you're gonna get less out of that. So I think, but on balance, most people are better off. If you were smarfing like almost every event, almost every day, you are making a huge amount of money from prize boards, and prize boards are worth less now. You probably are going to be making less. And that was also part of the reason for the rebalance. We didn't want this smarfing thing to be the primary thing that you do in the game. Put in your worst cars, make 3-star wins all the time. That's what you do every day. That isn't how it should work, I think. And so we've tried this rebalance.
Yep.
The flip side, I've got to keep this short, haven't I?
Yeah.
The flip side is that there's, I think maybe something still a bit missing, which is that you could now be going, I'll compete properly in events, but you go, I've got 5 tickets I can compete in this event, and you go, well, I could probably squeak out a few 1-star wins, and now they're worth less than they were, and you're like, maybe you're now even less motivated just to play in events just regularly. And there's the flip side as well, that I'm still smarting myself. I'm like, 5,006 gold still worth having. I'm just going to do that. And so it's like, if we really fixed it, that you wouldn't even want to do that. You'd somehow make that money another way. So there's still more to do, I think, talking about the best way. Can we make everybody happy somehow?
Yeah.
Can we make everybody
dangerous
feel rewarded by doing the thing that you're supposed to do? We're still discussing that.
Yeah.
But on average, people are better off, especially for gold.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So thanks, Andrew. You get a T-shirt, and the next question comes from Wout van Herk, who asks, "Will the next update be Italian Renaissance with premium Italian supercar manufacturer.
You spotted the pattern.
Yeah, so yeah, you may have noticed that the last couple of updates in a row have given lots of new cars for different countries, and it's been called X Renaissance.
Right.
And there are other countries in Europe we've not visited yet in that.
Oh, that's right.
So yeah, nice little pattern there.
Yeah. So that's right. It's actually going to be Australian Renaissance.
Okay.
No, it's not.
So the same answer to this question as always, which is that we're constantly trying to add new
yes.
manufacturers. We never sleep. And yeah, you'll have to wait and see what we can come up with in the future. We'll keep trying, and I'm sure you'll keep waiting.
Yeah.
So enjoy. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Next question, also winning a t-shirt. Of course, everyone gets a t-shirt if we mention you today. Mysterial, who asks, will you do collaborations? So I think this is to do with the Goodwood thing. Will you do collaborations more frequently? I'd love to see some more tracks from real life. Oh, and the Nürburgring, of course, right?
Okay, yes.
For example, Monza, Suzuka, Le Mans, Indianapolis. Why not even bring the Goodwood Festival track in as well?
Right.
Yeah.
Will it be possible to collaborate with brands like the Grand Tour? Okay, you've got a lot of really great ideas. Create some events where you race against them. Yeah, okay, so essentially what you're asking is, can we do more collabs with things out there in the real world of motorsports and, even other brands? And that sounds fantastic. Yeah, these things are definitely in our minds. We know that there are other tracks out there. We managed to get to the Nürburgring with, fantastic, and I hope you're enjoying it in the game. I haven't even tried it yet. But yeah, more things, that'd be great.
And then I think there's always conversations that are almost kind of going on in the background, and Nürburgring was sort of the first licensed track in the game. We wanted to see kind of how people what the response was like. But I think it would be fair to say there will definitely be other collaborations in the future.
Yeah, I hope so.
Seems to work. Yeah.
It'd be really good. We want to do them. Just it's gotta make it happen. That's all. So yeah, thanks. You get a t-shirt, Mysterial. Next question comes from Vincent Top Drives with the question: have you ever thought of adding Brabus in addition to the smart Brabus Roadster already in the game?
Right.
Could be good for boosting Mercedes as a manufacturer.
We definitely have. There's a sort of, I guess, a slightly wider conversation that goes on around the whole world of tuners.
Yeah.
And I think we've. Actually, it's not fair to say that we've touched on it with Rough, because in a way that I think they're a manufacturer in their own right. But that idea of taking sort of nice cars or very nice cars and taking them even further is very appealing, and there's a number of pretty well known tuners out there, sort of, and in all the different territories. Japan, the kind of big US tuners like kind of Hennessy and things like that, and then a lot of European ones as well. So yeah, short answer is yes, and I think if we do it, I think we're keen to do it as part of something a little bit bigger than just adding one at a time.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so thanks, Vincent. You get a t-shirt. Next t-shirt goes to Nick Custers, who asks, I would like more filters to manage my garage, but particularly stock, maxed and upgraded, stuff like that. So yeah, just more ways to check up your
this is
garage.
coming out more and more.
Yes.
Every episode now. This has become the thing. It's
Everybody
interesting.
loves garage filtering.
Filters, better filters, even better filters.
So it's, how can I describe it? It's been highly acknowledged on the team as a thing that the game would benefit from in a big way. So it's the mystical list, and it features prominently on it.
Absolutely, it does.
Upgrade status, good one. Yeah.
Okay, so now for the final t-shirt winning question of the day, coming from Jeffrey Antoni Wijaya. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. Question for Hutch. Why does the Caterham 7160 not got its tyres changed to standard yet, while the 7270 has got it? We just want to know.
That's just a very good point, and it just got missed. I corrected the 270, and I should have. It should have been pretty obvious that the Caterham below it in the hierarchy should also go to those tyres, and it got missed. But it has been fixed. and will be out in the next update.
Ooh, early correction.
Sorry about that. Okay, good. So that is all of the questions. Thank you so much to everybody who has asked the question. You are all getting t-shirts, which is great. And for going forward, you should know the rules by now. Go ahead and leave your questions for next episode in the comment section. If you see a question someone else has left that you like the look of, give it a like, because we look at the most liked comments first. Right. Now I think we're going to move on to some other news. So a couple of things to look at. We did go to Goodwood. As I said earlier, we didn't get a chance to do all of the big stuff that we had planned to show you in these episodes. Those things are going to have to come a bit more piecemeal a bit later. We've got things going on in the social channels, which sort of makes up for a little bit, so you can get to see what we got up to, even if you don't get the big shiny video pieces we planned to give you. But yeah, we got to see a lot of really cool cars, and we got to drive around Goodwood, which is a very prestigious circuit, a lot of big history out there. We are going to try and do collabs of that nature in the future, and hopefully bring you the content, the proper big stuff that we wanted. So watch the space and watch the social channels for those. What else have we got? We've got prize car coming up, I think.
Yes.
Is it this weekend
That's
or next
right.
weekend?
This
This weekend.
It's going to be happening right
Okay,
now.
what's
as you
the
watch
prize
this.
car?
So Alfa 8C Competizioni
Okay.
is the prize car, 2007. It's an epic. It is. It's. I mean, the defining quality, and I know this is not something that we. It's sort of, this is not a thing you can necessarily use in top drives, but it's just an absolutely stunning car. So it's in terms of kind of raw performance figures, I'd say it's kind of, it's a really solid all rounder. So it's got the speed to beat your kind of German super saloons that are sort of limited to 155. So it's 182 miles an hour top speed. So really solid. Not 64 seconds. Again, I mean that's pretty good. And then handling of 86.
Yeah.
Rear wheel drive. So you're going to have to watch it in terms of the kind of slippery conditions. But it's just an incredibly cool way to beat people in top drives.
Oh, it's
really.
a style icon. We've got that tag on.
Yeah.
So there aren't a huge number.
Yep, it's one of the definite style icons. So any kind of style icon events that come up in the future, this is going to be a pretty good way of doing it. There's actually not many Italian epics at the moment, and I think so. The only other one is it's kind of almost its sister car, the Alfa 4C. And I mean, I can show you here. It's I mean, it's probably quite obvious in that its stats are just better. But if I run it around the fast circuit, it's
one
just
RC better.
Yeah,
And
it's a clear victory to the 8C.
Yeah.
I say something like the fast circuit definitely feels like it's a nice habitat for it. It's just got the long legs to really kind of make the most of its power. So it's I think sort of I'd put it right up there as virtually one of the most stylish ways you can win a race in top drives. And I'm always going on about adding a style score to top drives.
Yeah.
But it just makes no sense at all because I don't know how you bring it into races.
Yeah, there's not the obvious ways.
No, but if we did, then this would be very, very high up that.
Yeah.
And would.
As it is, it's the it was joint second at RQ for style icon after the Jaguar XJ 220.
Yes.
There you go.
As a slight side note, it's named after a 1930s Alfa, kind of sort of. Well, as all 1930s cars were, sort of pretty open wheel type contraption. Looked a little bit like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, but was really fast. And I went to a charity track day where it's kind of you could be passengers in cars. And the first car I just got kind of shepherded towards somebody sitting in a 1932 Alfa 8C, given a pair of kind of Biggles goggles.
Oh yeah.
And and then the guy gave the kind of signal at the end of the pit lane, and we were just off, and we were drifting through corners at sort of 80 miles an hour with very little. There's no seatbelt. There's very little to hold on to, and you're kind of perched almost on top of the car.
Wow.
And it was, I go to been around a track sort of quite a few times in quite a lot of different things, and I enjoy it and it's exciting. I've never really been nervous at all because generally tracks are quite safe places.
Yeah.
It was the most terrified I've ever been on a track.
That's great.
but it was also a lot of fun. So
you're still here.
Yes, we're still here. And so the Alpha 8C.
Nice.
Not bad. Okay. We've got another thing which we brought up, also to do with talking to all of you lot, which is that we've started using the community tab a little bit more. You might have noticed that we've done a few posts, and one thing that we did is we asked which new manufacturer from the latest release is your favourite between RUF and Volkswagen. The results are in, so thanks to the over 200 of you that voted, and winning clearly with 62% of the vote was RUF, so well done to RUF for getting the honours on that one. We had several comments. Most of them were really just suggestions for other manufacturers that players want. We know you want more manufacturers. We are really trying. But yeah, fantastic stuff, and everybody wants to see all the fancy premium Italian supercar manufacturers and Toyota. So yeah.
Toyota.
But yeah, RUF there winning that, and we got a couple of pictures of Lolly the Whippet preparing to record the top drive. So we're going to try and use that a little bit more often, just to reach out to you guys if there's a delay in the episode or if we've got other news to share. So yeah, keep your eye on that, as well as our other social channels going forward. What else have we got to talk about?
Well, I should just say sorry about the drilling.
Yeah, sorry about that.
This is very minor drilling. If you know, we've had drilling. It was going on upstairs, in the middle there, and out on the road at the same time.
Yes, all different, completely different purposes.
Yeah. And one lot would say, "Oh, it's okay. We'll be quiet between these hours," and then the other two were going.
Yeah, there's so much construction going on around us at the moment. It's constant. It never ends. We're not sleeping anymore. It's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So I think we've reached what we need to talk about today. Is that right? There's nothing else.
That's it. I think that's it.
At least for the moment.
That's my list.
But fantastic. Sorry we were away for so long. Glad to be back, and we'll try and get back on doing this properly at the correct interval going forward.
Are we back to carbon fibre risers for the next time?
You know what? I don't know. I will check up whether we're doing another T-shirt giveaway or if it's back to carbon fibres.
Right.
And it'll probably be in the description of the video. But yes, that's it then. Thanks very much for watching, and this has been the Top Drive Show.